Hi everyone, Keith Larkberg Farms. It is now the last week of January and it has been a cold, snowy month out here. So our winter program might still be going good. I don't exactly know. Before it actually got really cold, I harvested quite a bit out of there and then I covered it up. That was going on 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. We've been under freezing since then. We've had lows down in the negative 17 degrees Fahrenheit and also highs that did not exceed 0. So it's going to be very interesting when we come in the greenhouse and see what we actually have going on in there. So you can see we've warmed up enough. The doors have popped open. So we're going to go uncover it and take a look and see what it looks like. So let's go check it out. Now, there's only 2 ways this is going to go. One, everything's dead. End of winter season, we still got stuff stored, so we'll still be selling for a good couple weeks. Second is that some of it made it, some of it didn't. But you never know. But I can get this smell coming out of the tunnel where I kind of know and have a good idea of what's going on. But we're going to go ahead and uncover it and check it out. But first, head over to arkenbergfarms.com, scroll down near the bottom, digital tools and training. I've got the Market Gardening Farm School now open. We have 1 module available. It's a piecemeal program. Just get the modules you want, take a look at them. We'll be shooting them throughout the season. Also, the digital tools and training, got all kinds of spreadsheets, accounting stuff. The site openers are for sale there as well. Go ahead, check it out. So it's pretty much exactly as I anticipated it. Almost all the lettuce is dead. There's a little patch down there that's kind of kicking, and then my very last plant down there kind of still going. This all over winter carrots over here. They're doing great as usual. Spinach behind me, still doing great. Great crop to grow where it's really cold. It'll withstand cold or wind. It just won't withstand both at the same time. Beets over here behind me, overwinter beets all the way down, doing great as well. I did pull the row cover, put it up top, because I will not be dropping it back down in here, at least on what I have growing now. The only thing I'll need to cover is possibly the carrots or the beets and this little bit of spinach. Most likely with the temperatures I'm seeing, I'll be covering this spinach and maybe a little bit of lettuce. So I don't need this huge thing. I can just pull out a couple of smaller row covers. They're only about 4.5, 5 foot wide and 40 foot long instead of this big gigantic 50 foot wide by 100 foot long row cover. It's just a pain in the butt to do. So we'll walk down. I'll just kind of turn you around, show you a couple things and let you know. Then we'll head over to the other tunnel, uncover it and see what's going on over there. That's where all of our broccoli and cabbage and kale and Brussels sprouts and all the other cool stuff we had over there. So we'll do this, then go over there. Now the carrots, all in all, doing really nice. You can see they're growing pretty good. A little bit of weed pressure in there. Not too terrible bunch. Don't have much to worry about. Over in the side tunnel, over in this area, that's where I've just been throwing the lettuce as I've been harvesting it out. We do have some spots like here where it's a little thinner. That's just because it hasn't had as much irrigation to it. And that's simply because I do not turn on the irrigation in these tunnels during the winter. You can see down here where the water really seeps over the side. Got much more top growth, but that should all even out. And here is the lettuce that is still going. The ones that I actually cut, like this one right here, everything down here is gone. What we're left with, an actual nice little growing lettuce head in there. That'll continue to produce as the sunlight comes up a little bit more and we get a little bit more daylight. It'll re-trigger it to start growing, but the rest of it, pretty much toast. It had a lot of bottom drop in to begin with, so I had very little hopes. Even this stuff down here, the more mature it is, the less likely it is to make it through one of these colds. So butterheads do terrible in the very, very cold. So they hit pretty hard. I think that one completely dropped out. That's what happens when they freeze. The green sweet crisp is still running nice. Same thing down here. Didn't have much purple left. Purple is usually the most resilient of any crops because the purple has some kind of antifreeze in it that actually works better than the sugars that build up in the greens. Again, there's a good chance that these things will keep growing. I really just need to go through and strip the bottom leaves off and not break them off. But it broke off there because it's been frozen solid down at the bottom, and it's got a little bit of bottom rot going around it. So that'll be a task to do here later on this week. Again, the beets, not the best germination I've had with my overwinter beets, but as you can see, I've got a nice bed of them going. Very interesting that during the winter, they turn completely purple. And these are all red beets. I've done mixtures before, but I found that the red beets do the best overwintering. So these babies right here, we're looking at about March, and they'll be ready to harvest and then top them and store them back. And they'll be ready for the market April 1st. Now we'll go over to the other tunnel. So again, this tunnel, pretty much spot on what I expected. Did not expect the cabbages to make it. The ones I left were a little bit smaller. I really wasn't too concerned with them. Bed of garlic, and then overwinter onions at the end. Doing great. Same thing as over in the other one with the carrots, where it doesn't get as much water in these upper areas because it doesn't flow into the tunnel as much. They're a little shorter. That's nothing to worry about. The onions behind me, they are still doing great. These are Forum overwintered onion sets. These will be great for about June harvest. Again, with the stuff that's purple, these are actually kaleettes, little weird kale things that kind of look like Brussels sprouts. Just wanted to try them, but they're actually doing awesome. I do have a little bit of burn right at the tops of them, so I'm gonna have to go through and top those. Broccoli did not do as good at all. Kale is doing okay. There's some spots where there are holes in the row cover that it kind of got through. We'll walk down there and go check that out. This is what I'm seeing on my cabbages. They're obviously frozen almost all the way through. Garlic, pushing. You can see they're just coming up slower on these smaller ones. Down here where there's more water coming into the tunnel, a lot better if you look through all the weeds coming through. It's one downfall of garlic in landscape fabric is that you have to go through and weed these dang holes, which is kind of tedious, and it kind of tears up your finger a little bit because of the rough edges of the fabric. But it's something we need to go through and do once a season during the winter, get them pretty much cleared out. Head down further. These were cauliflowers, but we got those harvested out in time, so they're doing good. Here's what I'm talking about, the broccoli. The florets, even some of these smaller ones, those appear to still be harvestable. The bigger ones that flowered went too far, no good, but all the leaves have dropped on them. So they're pretty much done for. I'm not even going to bother recovering this. Here's one broccoli head I left that was not covered up, and it is pretty much gone. It is frozen solid. It's limp, no good at all. But the florets right next to it, they were actually inside of it, still stiff, good. We could even harvest those off the side shoots. Brussels sprouts, here's a good example right here. The tops got a little frozen on them, so I can very simply just come through, have to do it with a harvest knife, and just remove that section, because ideally we want anything with the brown off of here, because it tends to get a little mold and fungus on it, which can actually start going down the plant, and they're not going to grow any bigger anyways. We just want them to stop growing so we can come in here and start harvesting Brussels sprouts out of here. They're still a little small, you can see by my finger, but they are slowly sizing up. It's one thing I've been working on for years, is trying to get a good Brussels sprout plant out here and then find out if they actually sell at market or not. Again, onions doing great, need weeded. And here's the patch of broccoli. It is all pretty much toast. Kale, we have some spots where it got damaged. That's because of holes in that old landscape fabric right there. So it got burnt in spots, but where it was covered up, it did really, really good. Just as I was expecting. But the good news is now, I've been running out of stuff to do out here. And now I have the opportunity to come through and start clearing beds. So here's our kaleettes. These little kale bunches. And you go through and you harvest. And that's what you're looking for right there. That is a kaleette. Like I said, I've never tried them before. There's something new. I wanted to try them, just see what they do, how they grow, all that fun stuff. You got to keep yourself interested out here and do different things from time to time. Otherwise, it gets a little bit old with the standard day-to-day turn and burn, plant the same thing over and over again. But all in all, I'm fairly happy with the way things turned out in here. We are going to be missing our overwintered lettuce, so we have that very nice early harvest. So we're going to have to rely on the things that we're going to start seeding this week or next week to go into the tunnels in March to be big enough to actually harvest for the first markets in April. So happens every season. You don't know what you're going to get until you get it. And we're here in Northeast Kansas where we have great mild winters. We also have really, really cold winters, or like this one where we still have snow on the ground 3 weeks after it snowed, which I honestly don't ever remember having in my life. But the snow actually helps because it insulates the tunnels and keeps the cold air from blowing through. So that's pretty much it on the unveil after what, almost 3 weeks of frozen temperatures. Very happy with it. Couldn't have asked for more. We'll have a great time clearing this out, getting the season going for next season. Don't forget, head over to arkenbergfarms.com. Scroll on the bottom, digital tools and training. Farm school's there. We also got the ultimate supply catalog there too for free. You can download that. It's got all the stuff we use on our farm. So as always, hope y'all like what you saw today. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day.